Welcome to 2025. If you're watching this, you made it and Jesus loves you, unless you're Anissa Joma, in which case Jesus feels the same way as the rest of us. For whatever reason, this past week, Elon Musk decided he'd try to test his pull with the Trumpers by speaking highly of H-1B visa recipients. If we know anything about this group of people, it's that they're not big fans of people from other places, to put it lightly. As soon as you bring up immigrants, the average Trump voter's balls shrink back into their stomach because they feel like they can be replaced by any 8th grader from Bangladesh, I guess. So as you can imagine, Twitter had a fucking field day and the infighting went crazy. It was enough noise that it clearly made it to the top of whatever mountain cave Sam Hyde has been sleeping in like some kind of red pill Grinch. So naturally, he came down to Trumpville to lay the law on Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy. If you don't know who Sam Hyde is, I think the best way to describe him is sort of an internet antagonist. His whole shtick is pretty much taking any red pill talking point and running with it as controversial as he can while trying to be funny. He's that kid in the locker room whose dad drank a lot and was always a dick, but not nuanced enough to make friends to be a dick with, so he's just a dick laughing by himself. Sam had a show on Adult Swim called $1 Million Extreme. They got canceled when it got out that he was donating money to the Daily Stormer, which is a whole bucket of shit. It's a lot to get into, but pretty much any description of the Daily Stormer, even the favorable ones, has to include neo-Nazi Holocaust deniers, so it's just not an organization that you want to be caught donating to. And naturally, Adult Swim doesn't want to be caught signing the paychecks you're donating with. Since then, he's been pretty inconsistent, but he does have a podcast and he's been involved in some notable beefs over the years. The first thing in recent memory that comes to mind is his beef with iDubbbz and the documentaries that they made about each other. Sam Hyde is kind of the final boss of shitposting becoming your whole personality. In the video he dropped, he pretty much says that they're interwoven with each other and he doesn't see a world where they're not gonna be. So I know what you're asking now. What the fuck can the richest man in the world, a tech billionaire politician, and a brain-rotted red pill internet comedian possibly be beefing over? Immigrants. And no, I don't know how we got here either. Sam Hyde dropped a 40-minute speech where he managed to say a lot but almost nothing at the same time because his whole career has just been wrapped in this layer of meta irony that makes it hard to figure out what he means and what he doesn't mean. Essentially, Sam Hyde picked apart Elon's idea that H-1B immigrants are coming over here and they're all the best and brightest, all the same time weaving in comments about Asmongold, Moist Critical, and saying Vivek Ramaswamy needs to be deported now. Sam's position on the matter seems to be we shouldn't be letting 1 million people immigrate in hopes that one of that million is the next Albert Einstein. His next segment, he talks about the idea that American birth rates declining can't be supplemented by importing people from other places and says, quote, "The universe cares that they're not Americans." Whatever the fuck that means. By the 20-minute mark, he said the word Indians so many times that if we were taking a shot for every time, we'd have no idea what the rest of the video consisted of. At one point, he refers to Chinese people in America as spies and calls them Ling Ling and Bing Bing and says they should be sucking him off because of how many followers he has. It gets pretty out there. At one point, he says injecting Indian people into the mix isn't going to lead to the American dream any faster and tells us Moist Critical is Jewish. Okay. Aside from the out there comments and the weird tangents, there's some sentiment in the video and some things that he says that really make you want to rally behind him. You can understand at least where he's coming from, even if it feels a little misguided at times. The polarizing jokes that he makes oftentimes make it feel like rallying behind him is going to be the wrong thing to do, because for every right thing he says some off the wall shit like calling Chinese Americans Ling Ling and Bing Bing. It's an insane time to be alive when you step back from it and realize that Elon Musk and Sam Hyde are seemingly the two figureheads leading opposing groups within the Republican Party. But at the end of the day, if I gotta pick one of them, Sam Hyde has a Trans Am and that fucks, baby.